Hello everyone and welcome back to Madden 2002 on the PS2. We are here kicking off year number 6, the first year of, I guess, a retool rebuild, if you could call it that. The team, stat-wise, is still close to where it was last year, so I guess we're not, super tearing down and rebuilding or anything, and that wasn't really the goal either. It was really just about shedding off some of the money that we had from free agents that we really weren't going to get a ton of value out of, turning that into picks and just investing in the young guys and really just kind of relying on the younger guys in the league. So we do have a shortage of defensive ends, so I'm going to have to sign Chike. I think it's Chike Okafor, who actually is better than our starting right end that I was going to go into the season with. He's actually 10 overall points better, so he also wants a long-term deal, so he's going to get signed on for 3 years. So that might be, I don't know, an asset, maybe a 5th or 6th round pick in the future. Who knows? But we're going to start off our 6th season in Kansas City against the Kansas City Chiefs, who went to the AFC Championship game in the previous season. So they have the reigning coach of the year, won all these accolades, were showered with it. But we're ultimately fell short of reaching the Super Bowl, ironically, because they lost to the Ravens. And if only that could happen in today's NFL, in the modern NFL. So they also lost quite a bit of depth on offense. Trent Green, who was their quarterback for many years, he retired. I think they lost a top receiver or two as well. They lost a couple guys due to retirement as well. So this team is not the same as what it was last season. They still should be a formidable opponent to us. So first and 10, Jeff Lewis, their new quarterback, drops back, and he finds an open receiver, and it's a foot race across the 40 and across the 45, and he's finally going to get brought down inside the 30, so already a humongous pickup for the Chiefs to get them rolling in our territory. So, but yeah, they're running Jeff Lewis at quarterback. Jeff Lewis has routinely been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, or in free agency every year, but he's only like a 70 or 71 overall, so they really don't have a great quarterback going up against us, but it's working here. So from our about 28-yard line, Jeff Lewis drops back now, clean pocket here, dumps it off again to the right side, and that one is airmailed out of bounds, but there's a flag on the field, and it's going to be a defensive pass interference on the rookie Bruce Green, who's starting at middle linebacker here, replacing Dat Nguyen this year, and he's already made a pretty big mistake. It's all right, rookie, shake it off. Gotta limit the mistakes here. So moving on ahead on a 3rd and 2 for the Chiefs. Just need to. Can they pick it up? They're going to hand it off and get caught, and he's caught up in the backfield. He's going to get brought down by Jared O'Neal. So Jared O'Neal, the cornerback, is making a huge play behind the line to gain. And that's going to force a 4th and 3 for the Chiefs. They're going to bring out their kicker to try and knock home this chip shot, and he does just that. So the Chiefs are going to take a 3-0 lead over us here early on in this ball game. And later on, our offense struggling to get going here in the first quarter, so the Chiefs are going to have another opportunity with it, and it's going to be a handoff, and Wilkes to the outside edge shakes off Justin Nipper, the free safety, and gets brought down at the sideline. And Wilkes, I didn't look into how long this running back had been with the Chiefs. I think he's one of their new rookies. He doesn't have a picture, but this dude is absolutely feasting in this game, dude. Just wait and see how much he feasts in this game. But overall, we have to remember about Tony Gonzalez, the other guy on the Chiefs, who also likes to feast quite a bit, as he gets a huge completion there to get a first down for the Chiefs. And now back in the red zone for Kansas City on a 1st and 10, just a minute left to go in the first quarter. Lewis can hand this one off to Wilkes again. Wilkes finds some open space, bursts into the open field, and gets to the end zone, but there's another penalty on the field, and this time it is on the Chiefs. Their center gets a little bit too much jersey, and so that's going to erase the touchdown, and not only that, but it's going to move them back about a good 10 yards as well. So we get a huge bailout there after Wilkes carves through the open spaces and the gaps in the line. But the first quarter is going to come to a close. The Chiefs' one field goal is going to be the only points to speak of. But Kansas City is still within striking distance considering the penalty. So 2nd and 18 now from about the 22 or 23. Jeff Lewis pump fakes, and he fires this one down the seam, and it is caught. So the Chiefs get a touchdown regardless of the penalty. They're like, fine, we'll just get an even longer chunk play. So 2 big plays we gave up kind of back to back there, really kind of spelled doom for us. So, but now it's our turn to cause some damage, and Roland Rich getting to the outside edge here, and it's a foot race, and he misses one man, and the second man's finally going to bring him down. I thought thought he might have been off to the races, but a 53-yard run from scrimmage is going to get us inside the red zone. And Roland Rich, man, we missed that stuff. Charlie Gardner did good last year. He did good. You can't even say he didn't, man. Almost 1,000 yards. But Roland Rich did have 1,000 yards in his rookie season, and we still kind of squandered that in year number 2. But on year number 3, we're going to continue to let him feast, as on the next handoff, we give it to him, and he heads to the other side, shakes off a tackle, and gets in the end zone for the first Cowboy touchdown of the season, and his first touchdown of the season of hopefully many, hopefully quite a few. So 7-10 is your score. Kansas City, though, once again past midfield. Jeff Lewis lobs this one up to a tight end who isn't Tony Gonzalez. Interesting enough. They apparently use other tight ends that aren't Tony Gonzalez. I don't know why they would, but they did, and it worked. So first down for the Chiefs here from about the 29 now. They're going to hand it off to Wilkes again. Wilkes gets to the outside edge, and none of our linebackers have enough speed. They were all in the backfield. Chad King and Bruce Green were in the backfield right off of the snap, but Wilkes just too fast getting to that outside edge, man. Just way too fast. So looks like another running back duel here in another game for the Cowboys. So the Chiefs take a 10-point lead, but Chuck Dunn dumps this one off to Kenny Thompson, who again looks dead to rights in the backfield, but cuts it upfield and gets a nice pickup of about 10 yards. So way to keep that play alive, Mr. Thompson. But on a 3rd and 15 after some negative plays, Chuck Dunn, and the pressure is on, and it's going to get to the quarterback. So we can't protect Chuck Dunn in the backfield, and it's dangerous. We can't afford an injury to that man. We had some injuries last year, and we cannot afford an injury to that man. So we're going to have to bring up Ted Stuckey here to try and attempt a very long field goal, and he cannot nail it as he pushes that one wide left. So the lead is going to remain 10 for the Chiefs. We have another opportunity late in the half here with 17 seconds on a 3rd and 5. Chuck Dunn drops back, fires this one across the middle, and it's caught by Otis Cameron, I believe it's Otis Cameron, the second-year tight end. He was a rookie last year, but we're going to try and hurry up and get back to the line of scrimmage. We can't get set in time. 2-1, and the time is going to expire as we were unable to get the snap off before the half ended. So the lead is going to remain 7-17. It was a nice big chunk play before the half ended, but it is ultimately a waste. So coming out a couple minutes into the 3rd quarter here, it's 3rd and 10 for our offense. Chuck Dunn drops back here, plenty of time to throw, pump fakes, moves to his left, and fires a deep shot downfield, and it's going to get caught in double coverage. By who? Who is the culprit? A 50-yard pass. It's going to say it's his record. We know it's not his record because I never lock it in, but it's Kenny Thompson. Who else? Kenny Thompson. Yeah, I kept Kenny Thompson in the second spot because I think just the way that our plays run, the way the AI uses the play calling, it just prioritizes the second guy more than the first guy. So I think we're going to see more Kenny Thompson, which is ultimately what I wanted. I don't need Terry Glenn to be the number one option on this team for a rebuild year. I need Kenny Thompson to continue to get work. So on a 3rd and 1 now, deep in Chief territory, we have a man going in motion, and we're going to hand it off to the big guy. Of course we are. Roland Rich breaks a tackle, and he's going to get brought down inside the 5. So he's going to get the first down, but not the touchdown. It doesn't matter because a fresh set of downs is all we needed. So on 1st and goal, we're going to hand it back to him to finish the job, and he does just that. Roland Rich continuing to do the important things that we need him to do on this team. Man, that last regime, those guys were idiots, man. Why weren't they using this guy? Yeah, tugging the collar. But Roland Rich, I love seeing him get involved once again. Hopefully he continues his development. He grew quite a bit after last year. I want to see that guy in the 80s because I think he deserves it. So the Chiefs now moving again on offense because now they're feeling a little bit pressure up their spines as the score is 14-17 now. So they got to get moving just a little bit here if at all possible. So 1st and 10 now from the 39-yard line. Lewis going to hand this one off to Wilkes, and Wilkes bursts through the open seam here, but he's going to get brought down after picking up maybe about 8 or 9. But it's a nice hold. The Chiefs' offensive line is really providing quite a bit of coverage up front for Wilkes. Got to give him the credit where it's due. But on a 2nd and 1, Jeff Lewis is going to throw for it, and he is going to find an open man and pick up the first down. So the Chiefs' drive is going to continue slowly but surely as they're piecing their way down the field. The 3rd quarter is going to come to a close. Now we're entering the 4th quarter in a 3-point tight game. So these are games that Will Newton would typically lose, and the big leads he would lose. He'd lose everything. So let's see how Jim Punker can get through this one. As now on a 3rd down and long, Jeff Lewis kind of checks it down, and the receiver goes out of bounds. So it's going to be a 4th and short. And the Chiefs here in 4th quarter might be a tough decision, but they're just going to stick with their kicker and keep this one a 6-point 3-point game, and the kick is good. So, yeah, 20-17 is now going to be your score. You might have thought, hey, maybe you should have went for it there, man. Maybe try to win it on offense, but no, they're going to just take the 3 points. And so now, down to our last 2 minutes on a 3rd and 2 at midfield, the Cowboys, Chuck Dunn and the Cowboys, need to come up with something here. So they're going to hand it off to Roland Rich. Roland Rich finds some open space and cuts inside, and he's going to get a nice pickup of about 10 yards. And, hey, man, if we're going to put it in Roland Rich's hands, fine. We've seen that Chuck Dunn does not have that clutch gene, man. He's not making those clutch throws and those game-winning drives. But on just like that, just like that, on 1st and 10, Chuck Dunn tries to hit Otis Cameron on a quick slant, and he cannot do it as he's in double coverage. So fast forward to a 3rd and 10 now, once again down to our last opportunity or two. Chuck Dunn going to fire this one across the middle, and he finds an open receiver, and I believe it's Cade Richardson, the rookie from Arizona that we drafted in the offseason, and it is. So he's going to make a nice one-handed grab across the middle, running a crossing route, and he's going to cut upfield and get about another 5 yards. So now deep inside the red zone here of Kansas City, snapping this one from about the 13-yard line, going to run the hurry up here. No spike. Chuck Dunn drops back, and the linebacker was out of position. We're going to see that matchup and take it as he flips it out to Cade Richardson again for a touchdown, his first touchdown as a Cowboy, and his first touchdown of the year. So it is a go-ahead touchdown. The hurry up, that was a beautiful play by Chuck Dunn. That linebacker was late getting set again, and he just had no hope of covering Cade Richardson. You could see that. So we're going to take that lead. And now 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs here, just a minute left to work. They have plenty of time to get down there, and Jeff Lewis finds an open man here. He's going to cut upfield and get a first down. So the Chiefs are going to call a timeout, try to conserve some time because they still have a long way to go down the field. So 1st and 10, Lewis running around in the pocket off of his back foot, flips this one out, and he finds Tony Gonzalez, who has this one, and he's brought down inside the 40. So now the Chiefs getting a little bit closer. They just need to be in field goal range. So if they get another maybe 10 or so yards, they could probably make a play at it. So on 3rd and 10, Jeff Lewis, and that pass is incomplete as Jared O'Neal tried to make a play on it, couldn't quite haul it in. An interception would have been great to end this first game in this new regime off of. But on 4th and 10, the Chiefs in desperation mode, they're not even going to try the field goal. They're going to keep the offense on the field now. A little too late to make that decision now, and Jeff Lewis airmails this one, cannot lock up with his receiver, so that one's going to fall into the dirt. We're going to take victory formation and walk out of here with our first win. So 1 game, 1 win for Jim Punker, man. Ain't that amazing? I'm pretty sure Will Newton lost his first game, period. I think we lost the first ever game in the series, but Jim Punker does grab the first win on the road in Arrowhead, so even back here, even though it's not the current Chiefs you're used to, this is still a tough place to play, man. Big thing I want to point out, we did pretty well on 3rd down. 3rd down was such a huge issue with Will Newton, but here, man, 8 for 13 on 3rd down. No doubt one of the more effective stats that helped us win this ball game. I think that's probably one of the stats you're going to look at and think, yeah, dude, that was important. Chuck Dunn, the ratings a little bit lower, around his career number, just about, as a completion percentage is kind of gross, but 225 yards and a touchdown again. He's pretty consistent with that. 112 yards for Roland Rich and 2 touchdowns in his first game back as a starter. I mean, yeah, dude's going to start forever. He'll be a Cowboy forever. Kenny Thompson also almost hits 100 yards. Terry Glenn also was pretty productive. Cade Richardson with a touchdown and a few receptions. Not too bad. Defensively, Lionel Mays and Justin Nipper are 2 young safeties leading the team in tackles. You'd like to see that as well. Ted Stuckey with the only 1 field goal opportunity, and he did miss, but it is okay. We're not going to sim forward any weeks here because I do want to watch the home opener with Jim Punker, and we're going to be having the Rams, the high-powered Rams, but the Rams are starting to get a little bit of age on them. They're starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, we have one of their aging pieces at cornerback, so but that's going to be in the next episode. So hope to see you guys in Texas Stadium with Jim Punker. The new regime opens up conference play at home against the St. Louis Rams.